Third grade, we're back at it. Today we are on to Module 7, Lesson 2. This is very similar to what we did yesterday. So we're continuing with word problems. If you want to read with me at the bottom, it says solve word problems in varied contexts using a letter to represent the unknown. So it's nearly identical to what we did yesterday, just of course with different numbers, different characters, different situations, maybe no apples today. So get excited because this is fun stuff. All right, let's just jump in. It says use the RDW, which is the read, draw, write process to solve. Use a letter to represent the unknown in each problem. Okay, let's read number 1 about Leanne. Leanne needs 120 tiles for an art project. She has 56 tiles. If tiles are sold in boxes of 8, how many more boxes of tiles does Leanne need to buy? Good question. We can solve that for you. Let's first write our sentence. So the question is, how many more boxes of tiles does Leanne need to buy? So we're going to say, Leanne needs to buy blank more boxes of tile. And now we need to figure out how we're going to solve for this problem, right? So she needs 120. She already has 56. Okay. So let's figure out how many more boxes she needs. Actually, let's first figure out how many more tiles she needs, right? She needs 120. She has 56. So how many more does she need? How can we figure that out? What operation can we use to figure that out? Yes, we're going to use subtraction. We're going to take away 56 from 120 to figure out how many more she needs. And then that's going to help us figure out how many more boxes she needs. So we're going to take away 56. And let's say that equals T for tiles. T equals what? I'm going to do my little vertical business over here. Okay. So I got 64. So she needs 64 more, right? She only has 56. So now we need to figure out how many boxes is 64 going to be. So she has 64. They're sold in boxes of 8. So we've done the read, we have not drawn, and we did the writing. So let's draw this time. She has 8. These are boxes of tiles, right? So 8, 16, 24, 32, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is how many she started with, right? This is 56. This is 56 tiles. And she needs 64 more. How can we figure out how many she needs without drawing however many boxes? If we have 64 and we divide by the amount in each box, we should get the number of boxes she needs, right? So what is 64 divided by 8? In other words, what can we multiply by 8 to get to 64? Did you say 8? You're right. You got it. She needs 8 more boxes, doesn't she? Exactly 8 more. What if she needed 65 more tiles? Then how many boxes would she need? Yeah, she would need 9 because they don't sell the tiles just by one piece. So she would have an excess of 7 tiles, but she would have everything she needs. So Oh, more. Okay, let's move on and read about Gwen and Ravi. Please read with me. Gwen pours 236 milliliters of water into Ravi's beaker. Henry pours 189 milliliters of water into Ravi's beaker. Ravi's beaker now contains 800 milliliters of water. How much water was in Ravi's beaker to begin with? I don't know, but let's write our sentence first. And then we do. Good job. How much water was in Ravi's beaker to begin with? There was, we're talking in milliliters here, so I'm going to put a blank, and then I'm going to write ML. That is the abbreviation for milliliters. In Ravi's beaker to begin with. Ooh. Okay. So let's go back. They're throwing out a lot of numbers. They're really high numbers. There's a lot going on. Let's figure out what we need to figure out, right? So Gwen pours 236 milliliters of water into Ravi's beaker. Henry pours 189 milliliters of water into Ravi's beaker. Ravi's beaker now contains 800 milliliters of water. How much water was in Ravi's beaker to begin with? Okay. So it's a mystery, right? So if we draw, we're going to have a couple steps here. Let's do step 1. Let's do step 2. So first we have, let's draw a little beaker. We have a mystery amount right here, right? This is our mystery amount. And then Gwen went ahead and poured in 236 milliliters. And then Henry went ahead and poured in 189 milliliters into Ravi's beaker. And now it contains 800. So let's first figure out how much was poured into between Gwen and Henry. So let's add 189 and 236 to equal what? Let's do B for beaker. How much is that going to be? So we're going to say this is B. I'm going to do vertically over here. You go ahead and solve for that, please, as I'm doing that as well. Okay, I got 425 milliliters was poured in. Now we need to figure out how much did they start with, because he doesn't only have 425, he has 800. When all was said and done, he ended up with 800 milliliters of water in his beaker. So how much was in there to begin with? And how can we figure that out? Right. So if we find the difference between 800 and 425, we will figure out how much there was to begin with. So let's do 800, take away 425 equals, I'm going to say O. O for original, the original amount. O equals, I don't know, let's do that math. Please go ahead and do that math on your own. I'm going to also, and I'll meet you back here when all is said and done. Did you get 375? So 375 was what Ravi had in his beaker to begin with. So let's pop that number into our blank, just like that. And what would happen if we were to add 375 to 425? We would get 800, right? that's how we could check our work if we wanted to do that. And do we want to do that? Yes, Mrs. Brady, we do. So let's do that real quick. Humor me. Humor me, friends. We got it. It all checks out. Look at that. Okay, let's read about Maud. It's kind of an old-fashioned name. I like it, though. I like it. Let's read it together. Number 3. Maud hung 3 pictures on her wall. Each picture measures 8 inches by 10 inches. What is the total area of the wall covered by the pictures? We're doing area now. Bringing us back. I like it. Let's first write our sentence. What is the total area of the wall covered by the pictures? So we're going to say the total area covered by the pictures is blank. What are we talking in inches? Inches. Okay, so there's 3 pictures. They each measure 8 by 10 inches. Okay, so first let's figure out, got a 2-step problem again. Let's figure out the area of each picture. So we have 8, this is one picture, right? 8 inches and 10 inches. How do we find the area? Yes. Side length times side length equals area. So 10 times 8 equals area. Area equals, what's 10 times 8? Yes. 80 inches. Now that we know how much one picture covers, now we need to figure out how much 3 pictures is going to cover. Okay? Because she hung 3 pictures. So how are we going to figure that out? What are we thinking? A couple different ways we could do this. We could do 80 plus 80 plus 80 equals wall. Or we could do 3 times 8, E-A-T. These will both, I put equals W for both because they're going to give us the same answer, right? Now, if you're freaking out and you're like, Mrs. Brady, I don't know how to multiply 80 by 3. Yes, you do, because you know what you do? Let's just cover that guy up. Do you know what 3 times 8 is? Say it out loud if you do. Say it loud and proud. Yeah, it's 24. All you need to do is add that 0 back in. So 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 80 is 240. Look at that big math you're doing. You can do this. And if you wanted to check your work, you could add these together, right? 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. 8 plus 8 is 16. 16 plus 8 is 24. Look at that. It all checks out. So now let's fill in our blank. 240 inches. Once you break it down, it doesn't seem that difficult, right? I know sometimes when you read so many numbers and they're like high numbers, you can kind of start to get overwhelmed, but there's no need because we can do this. We can do difficult things, right? Absolutely. Okay. Let's read number 4 together about Cammie. Cammie scored a total of 21 points during her basketball game. She made 6 2-point shots, and the rest were 3-point shots. How many 3-point shots did Cammie make? Nice job, Cammie. That's a lot of points. Let's write our sentence first. The question is, how many 3-point shots did Cammie make? So we're going to write Cammie made blank 3-point shots. Excellent. Okay, so let's figure out, we have a couple steps again. Let's figure out how many 2-point shots she made first so that we can do some little, find the difference, do some division, etc. So if she made 6 2-point shots, how many points is that? 6 twos. How many is 6 twos? It's 12. So her 2-point shots, equaled 12 points. So how many 3-point shots did she make? 3-point shots equals, let's just do T for 3, equals a mystery. And how are we going to figure that out? How can we figure out how many 3-point shots she made given what we know? We know she made a total of 21. We know that 2-point shots counted for 12 of those points. What should we do? I agree. So what we need to do is we need to take 12 away from 21. Okay, so we're going to do 21 minus 12 is going to equal the number of points that she made by making 3 points, 3-pointers. So what's 21 minus 12? Did you get it? What did you get? I got 9. Did you get the same? Excellent. Now, we need to figure out how many 3-point shots you can make to get 9 points. Right? This is a pretty simple, you probably are already saying, Mrs. Brady, we already know what it is. But just humor me here. So the equation that we can write is 9 divided by 3 equals, I'll do B for basketball. 9 divided by 3 is, yes, 3. If we count by 3 times, 3, 6, 9, we'll get 9, right? So she made 3 3-point shots. Cammie, you're the girl. You did an amazing job. All right, let's move on to number 5. Please read with me. An orange weighs 198 grams. A kiwi weighs 85 grams less than the orange. What is the total weight of the fruit? Okay, let's not get overwhelmed here. We can do this. I think as we go through this, if I were to let you go on your own, there'd be a step that you would miss. So let's not miss it, okay? Let's first write our sentence. What is the total weight of the fruit? The total weight of the fruit, is blank grams. Okay, so we need to figure out the weight of, I'm going to draw a little orange. The orange weighs 198 grams. The kiwi weighs how much? How much does the kiwi weigh? How can we figure out how much the kiwi weighs? It doesn't weigh 85 grams, right? It weighs 85 grams less than the orange. So we're going to have to do a little math to figure out how much the kiwi weighs. Does anybody have an idea? What are you saying? Let's look at this less than. If we look at this less than, that points to the operation of subtraction. Yes, you got it. So let's take 85 away from 198. So the kiwi weighs M for mystery amount. So let's do 198 minus 85 equals M. M equals, will you do that math real quick on your own, please? Try to solve that. What'd you get? I got 113 grams. Is that what you got? Fabulous. I forgot to write step 1. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4. No, we're not going that far. Okay, so now we know how much each of the fruit weighs. Our task is to find the total weight of both the fruit altogether. So the orange weighs 198. In order to find the total, usually total signifies what operation? Yes, addition. We're going to add that 113 to figure out how much all of the fruit weighs together. Let's say F for fruit. The fruit weighs. Will you do that math for me real quick? See what you get. Come back to me. What did you get? I got 311 grams altogether for the total. Is that what you got? Fabulous. And guess what? We read, we drew, and we wrote 311 grams. Boop. All right. Let's move on to this last one. Please read, Please read with me. The total amount of rain that fell in New York City in 2 years was 282 centimeters. In the first year, 185 centimeters of rain fell. How many more centimeters of rain fell in the first year than in the second year? I don't know, but I'm not worried because I know we can figure it out. So let's first write our sentence. It's asking how many more centimeters of rain fell in the first year than the second. So we're going to say blank more centimeters of rain fell in the first year than, my favorite comparison word, in the second year. So first we need to figure out how much rain fell in that second year because we don't even know. All we know is the total for 2 years. What we don't know is how much fell the second year. We know how much fell the first year. So first, let's figure out how much rain fell in that second year. So year 1, we already know, was 185 centimeters. Year 2 is a big old mystery. So how can we figure out how much rain fell? We have 185 centimeters that first year, 282 that for both years. I know, I hear you. You're telling me, Mrs. Brady, let's subtract. Let's take away 185 from 282. I agree. So 282 minus 185 is going to be R for rain. I'm going to write that vertically so I can figure it out. You please solve that on your own as well. Did you get the same as me? Did you get 97 centimeters? Excellent. Okay, so now that we know how much rain fell the first year, we know how much rain fell the second year, now we need to answer the question of how many more centimeters fell in the first year than the second year. So again, if we're doing that comparison, that how many more centimeters fell, we need to do subtraction. So we're going to take away 97, right, from 185 to figure out the difference. So let's write that. 185 minus 97 is going to equal let's do D for difference. We haven't used D yet. D equals. And will you please go ahead and solve for that real quick? I'm going to do the same. All right. Did you get 88 also? I hope. If you didn't, let me know. If I made a mistake, it happens, and I'm okay with that. I just want to fix it if I did make a mistake. So 88 centimeters more fell the first year than the second year. So we can just fill in our blank. And just like that, we're done with lesson 2. I hope everybody has a fabulous rest of your day, and I will see you on the interwebs for our next lesson. Bye, guys.